Qualities. The quality of loving. You think it's so simple. The definition of loving is willing to give up yourself for someone or something. In other words, you have more care for somebody else than you do for yourself. The quote is, love is patient and kind. Loving is not jealous or boastful. It's not arrogant or rude. And that's from the Bible. The first story in loving, and we sometimes we take loving for granted, but this is such a great story. It's the Banquet Hall. And it's in the book See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. If you've never read See You at the Top, it's a great book. It's written at the 7th grade level, so even guys like me can read it and understand it and enjoy it. See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. There's a story about the prospect of heaven and hell. And a man is taken on a tour of each, beginning with hell. You want to go to heaven or you want to go to hell? Well, let's go on a tour and let you see what both of them look like. He is shown a banquet hall with people sitting at table full of delicious food of all kinds. Somewhat surprised, he looks more carefully to see that the people there are miserably thin and unhappy. He also discovers that each person at the table has a fork strapped to the left hand and a knife strapped to the right hand on 4-foot handles, making it impossible to feed themselves. They were literally starving to death with all this delicious food right in front of them. The man was then taken to heaven. The scene is identical with a huge banquet hall and tables of food. In this scene, however, the people were happy and healthy. When the man watched these people, he noticed they too had forks and knives strapped to their hands with a 4-foot handle. The difference was that each person in heaven fed the person sitting next to them. They couldn't feed themselves, but they could feed the person next to them. Heaven and hell. What is heaven? Heaven is when you're feeding the person next to you and they're feeding you. What is hell? It's when you're trying to feed yourself and the only person you worry about is yourself. Question 1 says, what were the people in hell in love with? What were the people in heaven in love with? Ben Franklin said that a person in love with himself has no rivals. Question 3 says, Ben Franklin said that a person in love with himself doesn't have any rivals. Explain that.